Hey guys, so we're back again taking a look at section 15-3, which is parallelograms. So I've got some really badly drawn parallelograms on my paper. I'm actually slightly embarrassed, but you know what? I gotta get over myself. So we're gonna take a look at the information regarding parallelograms in my handy dandy little flowchart. Remember, this is online in Google Classroom. So parallelograms have a ton of information about them. First off, we're gonna have, and I'm gonna kind of go back and forth a little bit. Can I zoom out? Yes. I know that makes it a little small. Come on, there we go. So parallelograms are gonna have two sets of parallel sides, like top, bottom, right, left. We are going to also have two sets of congruent sides, top and bottom, right and left. Imagine that. And then there's a ton of additional things about them, and we're going to walk through each one of those things as we run through our examples. Please remember that a parallelogram can also be defined as a rectangle, rhombus, and square. So all three of these guys have the exact same characteristics as parallelograms. These three just have more than a basic parallelogram. So you can see that I've drawn like that traditional slanted rectangle parallelogram. I've got a rectangle, that's a square. I know you don't believe it's a square, but it is now, and a rhombus. So I'm going to transition over into our assignment. And on our assignment, I'm going to take a look at the evens. You guys are going to be assigned the odds. If you're tired of hearing that, well, that's just too darn bad. And I'm also going to have my parallelogram paper handy dandy out. So we need to go find whatever it is that's missing. And I'm only going to do number 2 and number 6 in this first set, because remember, my goal is to keep my videos short, and I'm failing at that goal because I talk too much. On problem number 2, we need to find the measure of this angle. Well, in parallelograms, it says that opposite angles are congruent and consecutive angles are supplementary. Okay, what does that mean? Well, that means that angle D is congruent to angle F. So I'm just going to jot some of those notes down. Opposite angles are congruent. So angle D is congruent to angle F. That also means that angle C is congruent to angle E. Another statement that is made is that consecutive angles are supplementary. So what does that mean? Well, consecutive angles is talking about angles that are literally like right next to each other. So we could be looking at angles D and E. So the measure of angle D plus the measure of angle E is equal to 180 degrees. But the same thing can be said for E and F, F and C, C and D. Well, that's where we're headed with this problem. We have consecutive angles with angle C and angle D. So that means that angle C plus the measure of angle D is equal to 180 degrees. Well, angle C is 70. Angle D is X. I hate the name question mark. We can go solve for X. X is 110 degrees. Okay, I lied. I'm going to do number 4. Let's just go for it. Guys, on number 4, these are what we call opposite angles. So that's angle L and angle J. They're congruent. That means that the measure of angle L, which is our question mark, is equal to 98 degrees. Please remember, if I'm going too fast, pause me, repeat me. I know that sounds weird, but those are our options. Problem number 6. So problem number 6, I think we're pretty safe in saying those two lengths are going to be parallel, and these two are going to be parallel to each other, respectively. Remember that in a parallelogram, those two pieces are going to be the same. So our question mark is going to be 12.6. All right, moving on to number 8. So let's take a look at number 8. I'm going to scoot this guy up. Now, number 8, I know that your eyes are seeing two triangles, but I also hope that your eyes are seeing a parallelogram. a nice skinny little slanted parallelogram. So what we know about this parallelogram is that consecutive angles are going to be 180 degrees. Well, we have consecutive angles, angle X and angle W. But angle X is 52 degrees plus the question mark. Angle W is 60 degrees. Together, they're going to make 180. So my question mark, okay, 52 and 60, that's 112, is equal to 180. Yeah, you can hear my calculator. I'm not doing this in my head. Question mark is 68 degrees. Kind of nifty. I like this stuff. Let's keep going. Number 10. I'm hoping you guys can see that number 10 is the same concept. We have consecutive angles. So angle C, which is 55. By the way, I'm switching out that question mark for an X. I hate that. Angle D is 62 plus X. That's the whole measure of angle D. Those two have to add to be 180. Well, 55 plus 62, I'm pretty sure that's 117. And you know I'm going to double check it. It is. If we subtract off our 117, we'll have X equals 63 degrees. I'm moving forward. Pause me if you need to. I'm heading over to number 12. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Holy cow, we've got a few more to go. So on number 12, it says solve for X, which is a nice thing to do. Again, in our parallelogram, those opposite sides are going to be congruent because they're parallel, like they have to cut each other in the exact same lengths. So this is telling us that 2x plus 15 equals x plus 15. They're congruent. They're the same measure. I'm going to do a double swap. I'm going to subtract off my x, and then I'm going to subtract off my 15 so that I can say that x equals 0. Please don't let that freak you out. I'm not saying the length is 0. I'm saying x is 0. If I put in 0, I get 15 and another 15. They're the same. Now, number 14 is a little bit different. Here, we're again looking at that consecutive angle concept. So 35 plus 14x plus 5 equals 180 degrees. You have to be able to tell the difference between a side or a length and an angle. Just look at what's being labeled. On this one, we'll have 14x plus 39 equals 180. Subtract off your 39. We will have 14x equals 141. Boy, I feel like something's off here. Did I do something right or something wrong? Nope, they're supplementary. Guys, I just think this one is extra nasty. We're getting like a 10.07. So if I have an oops, y'all need to let me know. In fact, I'm going to go cheat. I'm going to look at that problem. Just 10. What did I do wrong, guys? Oh! I caught it. Okay, this is a real video and I'm not fixing it. Do you guys see what I did? And you're probably yelling at me and I can't hear you because this isn't live. Did you notice that 35 plus 5 isn't 39? Let me fix that. This is 14x plus 40 equals 180. Man, that's embarrassing, but I'm not doing this again. 14x equals 140. X is 10. Phew. Sorry guys, but you know what? At least I'm real. I'm not going to be perfect because I never have been before. All right, let's get through number 16. I'm going to be over my 10-minute mark, but deal with it. Actually, I'm going to set up 16 and I'll let you finish it. Consecutive angles, 50x plus 130x equals 180. I'll let you guys solve that, but I will give you what I think is the correct answer. It's a good thing I kept my answer key in front of me, right? This one, x is going to be equal to 1. Prove it for yourselves. On number 18, we have KU, And I'm going to use my highlighter, which is this guy right here. That's 3x plus 3. And then we have which is 4x minus 4. Well, we have a property that shows, I'm just getting my paper, that the diagonals bisect each other. Bisect means to cut in half. So what's happening is that KU is a diagonal, or part of a diagonal, and is the other part of the diagonal, and they slice and dice each other in the middle on the x. So 3x plus 3, the top part of that diagonal, is equal to 4x minus 4. I'm just going to highlight with my colors. It might smear a little bit. Sorry about that. Boom. There we go. They're going to be congruent. Just like saying J to U and U to L would also be congruent. We can solve this. I'm going to zip through this really fast. I'm going to subtract off my 3x. We'll have 3 equals x minus 4. Add the 4. X equals 7. And it just said solve for x. I'm down to the last two. I apologize. This is going to be a 15-minute video. I'm doing my darndest. So on number 20, please take note that on number 20 it says opposite angles are congruent. These opposite angles, see how they're diagonal from each other? They're going to be equal to each other. So opposite angles are congruent. I can solve this. Well, I don't know. Based on number 14, you've lost faith in me. I'm going to subtract off my 3x, and then I'm going to add my 9, double swap. We'll have 2x equals 20, x equals 10. But that's not my answer. I got to find angle G. To find angle G, 5 times 10 minus 9. Well, put my parentheses in the wrong spot. Can you guys tell I'm hurrying? Because I'm trying to keep this video short. And I have the world's worst whiteout. So 5 times 10 is 50, minus 9 is 41 degrees. Okay, this last one is a little bit difficult to see what they're showing us. I believe they're showing us that angle R is 2x plus 14, and that angle T is 125. Again, we have opposite angles, and I'm going to zoom in for you too. I didn't realize how small this was. Opposite angles are congruent. So 2x plus 14 equals 125. That much we've got. So in knowing that, we can start solving if I subtract off my 14. I feel like we're going to get a decimal here. Do I need to pause? Sorry guys, I am rushing. So we'll get 2x equals 55, 111, x equals 55.5, which makes sense. So what do we want? And where does the 2x minus 7 come into play? Well, we want the measure of angle TSR. That's TSR. I'm going to highlight that in orange. Okay. Well, TSR. Can we figure out how big that guy is going to be? I think so. In fact, we probably didn't need to solve for x. This is 125 because I'll get it right. The opposite angles are congruent. Consecutive angles are supplementary. Angle TSR, that's going to be equal to 180 minus 125. We didn't need the x's. Dang, logic. It's 55 degrees. Huh. Okay. I warned you it was going to be a 15-minute video. I'm going fast. I'm doing my best. Sorry, guys. I miss you. Take care. Bye.